Friends of Education Award, I believe, is a new award that we've kind of established this year. And you know, one of the biggest things I think it's important for people to understand is the importance of partnerships. You know, we as a school district, we can't do all this, you know, by ourselves. And Upchurch and Jowers has been a very strong partner for several years with Kershaw County School District. I believe they have sponsored the academic competition team and several other things that they do. So they were nominated to be the first recipient of the Friends of Education Award, and it's a plaque that we presented to them at our board meeting, and a consistent thing that we do, you know, throughout the course of the school year, just to express our sincere appreciation for people who support what we're trying to accomplish at the school district. So the train proposal and how it will help us in the school district is they'll come in and they'll evaluate our operations. And when I say operations, it's, you know, whether it's heating and cooling and electrical use, all those things to make sure that we're at optimal performance. Part of that is, do we need to do any replacement or upgrades of our mechanical systems in the school district? The other thing could be, and we're already in the process of doing some of this, and that's the replacement of more energy efficient lighting systems, so LEDs throughout the district. The nice thing about the train proposal is they'll evaluate all of our utility bills and all of our expenses and come back with a recommendation for a project to replace or replenish. And it's a guaranteed energy savings project. And so that guarantees that we are going to save money in all of our utility expenses we have in the district. You know, you think that we have 20 buildings, and I can't even tell you how many thousands of square feet that we heat, we cool. We have roofs on. It's a great opportunity for us to save money on operational expenses. The nice thing about that is the savings from the operational expenses, it's just that much more money that we can then drive back into student achievement and student programs in the district. So we think it's going to be a very good thing for us, a lot of opportunity. Now we do have some new buildings which are great. And those control systems are pretty much in place, but now we'll synchronize some of the older buildings with the same type of control systems to allow us to manage the systems much better. Yeah, and I know everybody is anxious, but we have now gone through the final Office of School Facilities walkthrough inspections. We've been given the verbal certificate of occupancy permits, meaning we can now get in the buildings. It's really important that you know, we understand that we don't own the buildings still. They're still in the hands of the contractor, but we now have the ability to get in and start putting personal items in classrooms and offices and that type of thing. And so Lugoff Elementary was the first one to receive their permit. And they've been in the building this week, and I know the teachers have been in and starting to, you know, unbox and unpack in their classrooms. Starting Monday, Camden Elementary and Wateree Elementary will have the same access. And so what they'll do is they'll go over after school hours up until 6 o'clock, and they'll do some unboxing. The nice thing, I think, is been that we hired a company to come in and take all the non-essential items from one building to the other to mobilize them by classroom number, so that when we had the permits, we could go in and then start moving boxes up to the classrooms, and then all the teachers had to do was come in and then start to unbox and, you know, move in, so to speak. I know Wateree Elementary specifically has a neat plan in place on Wednesday of next week, where they have grade levels at a time that the students will take their personal items over to their new classroom and get to see their new building, and then they can have a real quick orientation on, you know, exit routes and things like that. So, you know, it's been slow but steady, and, you know, we're kind of nearing the end of the road, at least to get the staff and the students in the building. Their first official day in the building will be January 8th, you know, because January 7th is an e-learning day, and then we'll be off and running. One of the things I've shared, you know, with at least one of the staffs, and that is people are still going to be confused the first day. It's a brand new building. just like the first day of school, and by the end of the week we'll have established a new routine, and they're going to be in a nice brand new shiny building, and it's going to be a very good thing for our kids and our staff and our community. We will have official ribbon cutting open house dates. It will be in January at the 3 different locations, and one of the questions that's been posed to me is, well, it's after the building's already open. Well, yes, because we can't access a building until it's been turned over to us, and so that's the most appropriate time, and it's much better to have a ribbon cutting or an open house once we have moved into it. And our kids are going to be in place, and student work will be back up on the walls and in the classrooms, and then you'll see what the real functioning building looks like. So there is a reason why we waited until after the school year has started in 2019 for us to conduct those open houses. So the state report cards were released a couple weeks ago. It's the first year for this format in South Carolina, and I'm in the majority when I say there's a lot of flaws with it. However, there is some information that we can ascertain from the report card that will help us. We're not going to focus on the report card grade. What we are going to focus on is the data that makes up the grade, and so we will look at the student achievement scores, and just remembering that that is what we call lagging data. And so it's scores from the students from last year, and we will compare it with the things that we're doing throughout the course of this school year to make sure that we're going to make good progress in terms of what we're doing in our buildings. So I wouldn't discount it, but I'm also not going to focus on the school grade itself, because I think with the things that we're trying to accomplish with our data walls and using our NWA assessments with this data, we'll see some tremendous gains in the upcoming year. We've always captured data, but we are going to use data walls to look at NWA tests. Basically, we give them beginning, middle, and end of the year, and they are formative assessments that really tell you what the predictor is on a student's achievement and growth levels. Each student will have a card in a confined space that's confidential. Only the teachers can see it. And we'll track that progress 3 times a year to make sure students are on an upward trend and not a downward trend. And what that'll allow us to do is readily see it. It's going to be visible. There'll be a picture of the student on the data card that's in the teacher's classroom, because I want to personalize it. It's more than just numbers. It's a child. And if there is a downward trend, what's going on? What are we doing different? What do we need to do differently to turn that back up so it's an upward trend and all students are growing? Regardless if you're a high achieving student or a low achieving student, they all need to have an upward trend in terms of growth. Just as a reminder, January 7th is going to be an e-learning day. It's not a typical e-learning day where we would cancel school and students are working from home. It's not typical because it's going to be the very first day of a semester, but the state did allow us the opportunity to use January 7th as an e-learning day versus a true on-site makeup day. There's 2 things that I think are really beneficial for us. Number one, it allows us to really test our ability to conduct an e-learning day early in the semester, first day of the semester. The second thing it allows us to do is it allows teachers who typically on the very first day of a semester, they're handing out syllabus, they're going to hand out classroom rules and expectations and all those logistical things. We can accomplish it through an e-learning format so that when they show up on January 8th, then we're off and running in the second semester. And I guess the final thing that it does help us with is if families were looking at January 7th as being a day out of school until the weather hit, they can still take advantage of it. We love Christmas, and so our oldest son is still in Indiana. He's a junior in college, and so we haven't been a whole family, so to speak. And he came home. He and my wife got home about 2 o'clock this morning. She drove up and drove back with him, and so we are now a full family. And my wife loves Christmas. And so I think we have, let's see, we count 1, 2, 3, 4 Christmas trees in the house. If she had more, she'd put them up. And so, you know, we're looking forward to just spending time together as a whole family and enjoying Christmas. And of course, my parents are living with me, and so it's been really neat to have them there as well, and you know, just get to enjoy the holiday as a family and in our new home. And it was really neat. I share this with you. Bryce, when I was talking to my oldest son on the phone, he said, "I can't wait to finish my last final and come home." So this is home, you know, and knowing that my family has accepted that, and we're in our new normal, so to speak, it's exciting. So I cannot believe, I guess I want to just a shout out to Kershaw County. I can't believe that it's Christmas time and my first semester as a superintendent is complete. It's been a wonderful transition, and I couldn't be happier for both myself and my family. And I want to wish everybody a happy and a Merry Christmas, and look forward to 2019.